video on making a Feltie. I'm using this design from Etsy.com and it's listing number 521469526. Okay, and if you want to buy it, go ahead. I also bought the unicorn that they have. I don't know if it's going to show it, but it's adorable, trust me. Okay, but for ease sake today, we're just going to use the horse. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up Paint. I'm going to open the horse design in Paint. Okay, I'm going to choose Open. And I'm going to choose the horse head, choose Open. Okay, and so I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to choose the freeform selection. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Okay, these are going to be too small of details to digitize. It's too small for the program to try to figure out all the different pixels and stuff like that and how to make a complete picture with small amount of colors. So instead of fighting with it, we're just going to delete it, okay? And if you do want to have those features in, just digitize them each separately and then layer them in or merge them in SewWhatPro, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and from there we're going to choose resize. We're going to bring it down 25%. Okay, we're bringing it down to 25% of its original size. Its original size is like 20 inches big. We don't need it that big, okay? So from here, we're going to choose Select All, Copy, and you can also save it and then open it in SewArt, but this is just simple. Just copy and paste it. Okay, and we're right in SewArt, okay? And even though this looks like just a few colors, it's going to be like 200 colors, okay? 255 colors. So what we want to do is we want to gradually bring down the colors so that we can fill this in. If we try to fill it in now, there's like probably 100 different browns in there. We don't want to deal with all that. So we're going to bring it down to 100 at first. And the reason we do it slow is so that it keeps the smoothness. It gives the software a chance to kind of regroup the pixels. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to go down to 50, go down to 10, choose OK, and that's good enough for me for now. I'm going to grab my dropper tool in the fill region screen, and I'm going to grab a brown from over here. I'm going to fill that in, and I'm going to fill this in as well. Okay, so those are close enough. We're going to go over here and we're going to go down to 5 colors, and then 4 colors. Okay, and I know that that looks really, really, really weird, but we're going to go ahead and fix that in a second. Okay, so we have 4 colors. We're going to go back into our fill region. We're going to make the background a bright blue color, okay, because it's different than all the colors we're working with. And we kind of want to get rid of this white. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this tan, we're going to try to flood everything with it, and then we're going to take the dropper and we're going to grab the white and we're going to fill everything in, okay? Then we're going to grab that tan again and fill it back in, okay? It's still going to have some speckles. We're going to get rid of it in the Merge Colors button, but we wanted to smooth that out and make it easy, okay? And we're going to do the same thing with these. We're going to grab our dropper tool, and instead of trying to make each of these strands dark, we're going to make everything the lesser color, okay? But then, just for me, for it to be easier for my eyes to see, I'm just going to color in the main, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this detail as well. With them being so small, you don't want them to have more detail for the program. If you want that on there, like I said, with the eyes and nose and the mouth, digitize them separately and then add them in SewWhatPro, okay? That'll help get rid of a lot of frustration whenever it comes to small detailed stuff. Just digitize them separately. Cut them out in Paint, digitize, okay? So from here, we're going to double check and make sure we only have 3 colors. And they're showing we have 6. Let's check our merge colors. Okay, so it's showing that we have these tiny little things. Let's, instead of despeckle them, let's merge them. Same here. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to go ahead and merge it. And despeckle kind of throws it into different colors, I guess. I'm not really sure, but it makes it where it's not as smooth as merging it. So I've kind of come to the part where I enjoy merging more than despeckling. But on this part right here, you can see all of this stuff in the back. So it's either not going to pick it up, or it's going to go and do all of this and then go 1 stitch here, jump, 1 stitch here, jump. That stinks. So we're going to despeckle it. Okay. We're going to check our dark. Doesn't look like there's anything that needs to be despeckled. And we're going to make sure the silhouette looks nice and clean. Okay. Everything looks awesome. We're going to get out of there. We're going to go over here to Stitch Image. And the reason why I did the blue background was so that it is completely different than the colors. And that way I could know the background, and, you know, it wasn't going to try to mix any whites into the blue. So I know that that probably just sounds crazy, but the more you play with SewArt, the more you'll understand. Okay, so in this screen, we're first going to just go up here to Outline Border. We're going to choose our running stitch. We're going to make sure the height is a low number of 2, and the length is going to be 20. Okay, and we're going to grab, or we're going to choose to click down here. We're going to use our little needle tool, and we're going to click at the bottom of the head because it's flat and it's easy for the program to match up with itself, the first stitch and the last stitch. So we're going to choose right here, and it's going to outline the inside of that. Okay, and another reason why you don't want the eyes and nose and everything, besides resizing, it also tries to outline all of your detail inside, and that's the big old pain. So just digitize your details separately. Okay, and I've been doing this for a couple days, trying to make sure that the video is okay, and I keep forgetting to do the ear. So remember to do your second ear. All right, so once you're done with the outline border, we're going to choose the fill tool, and we're just going to click, and we are done. We're going to choose File, Save. It's going to give you the opportunity to save an image file. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to choose Cancel, and when I do that, it's going to bring up the embroidery saving page. Okay, so I'm going to save this to my desktop. There's already one there that says horsehead.pes, so I'm going to choose that one, horsehead Feltie. Okay, I'm going to choose Save. Okay, so that's how you do it in SewArt. All right. Okay, so we're going to be opening SewWhatPro. Here's our digitized image from SewArt. We're just going to choose the SewWhatPro button, and we're going to File, Open, and I saved it on the desktop as Horsehead Feltie. I'm going to choose Open. Okay. First thing I want to do is resize it. I'm going to resize it to about 2 inches. Okay. And I need to fix, because I opened it with the width that I saved it in SewArt, it's making it kind of hard to view it because it changed my hoop. Okay, so you just go into the options, hoops, find your hoop again. Okay, now we can move on. All right, so we have our colors, and I want to go ahead and just darken them up. Okay, so this is going to make it easier for me to see, as well as kind of easier for me to visualize, because I'm going to be using white felt and brown thread. Okay, so that's all there is to doing, to getting it prepared. And you just make it the size that you want. And I'm just going to show you how to do the single. And then I'm going to show you how, I'm going to do the single and I'm going to sew out the single, but I'm going to also show you how to do the duplicate and how to rearrange the steps so that you're not doing one at a time on your multiples, okay? So we're going to go up here to border, the add border tool. We're going to choose the running outline. We're going to choose the setting of 2 and 20. Your default isn't going to be that. It's going to be whatever you last used, or it's going to be like 30 up here and 2 down there. You have to make sure your top number is smaller. Okay? So we're going to make sure we choose auto border, and then we're 2 away from the pattern. Okay? If you choose 1, it gets really, it's hard for the program to read it, all the details and stuff like that. So it tries to outline everything. So just put number 2 and it'll put a nice little distance away. See how cute that is? Okay, I'm going to center all of this. Okay, so we need 2 running stitches though. So we're going to choose that. We're going to choose option, copy, or edit, copy, and then edit. Oh, we got to click out, edit, paste, and it's going to give us another running stitch, okay? Now, we also want a bean stitch. We're going to reorder all of this in a second, but we're going to do bean outline. And the same with the bean, 2 on the top, 20 on the bottom. If you're doing a satin, you're going to want the top to be heavy and the bottom to be lighter, okay? The satin, the zigzag, or whatever you're going to do, you want the numbers to be separate. The numbers to be higher on the top and smaller on the bottom, sorry. Okay, so this is going to give us 2 away from the running stitch. So we're going to have to do a little bit of manipulation, but that's okay. I'm going to choose auto border, click OK, and that's going to be our cute bean stitch. We just don't know it yet. We're going to go back to number 4, and we're going to take note of this size up here, 215, okay? So number 5, we want it to also be 215. We want it to be as close to the running stitch as it can. It's not going to be exact of the running stitch because it does something different and it's an outline of the running stitch. So but it's okay because the running stitch is going to be completely hidden. Okay, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to choose our resize button, and we want to change this to 2.15. Okay, so it's right on top, and it'll look really cute. Okay, and you can, you know, keep manipulating it, and you can probably get it pretty close to perfect, but you don't have to. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Edit, Order Threads, and we are going to take number 3 and turn it to number 1. We're going to take number 4 and turn it to number 2. Then we want number 3, which is the outline of the face, to stitch out. And then we want the main to stitch out. Okay, and then number 5, we're going to keep that as number 5 because that's going to be our final stitch. We're going to choose OK. Okay, so right here, we have our die line. This is what you put onto your stabilizer, okay? And shows you where to put your fabric. Then we have our tack down. Oops. Okay, and that's going to do an outline around the horse so that whenever you're doing the mane and the outline part, it's already secure onto the felt, okay? It doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't really matter, but it will help you kind of have an idea of where it's going to be working as well. Okay, and it also just gives it another level of strength. Okay, so it's going to print out this one, and then it's going to give us our bean. Okay, and you can make little notes over here for yourself. Outline, face, mane. Okay, so that's all there is to digitizing a Feltie using SewArt and SewWhatPro. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a second for the stitch out and or for the duplicate. I'm going to separate the videos, and then I'm going to make one long video, but I'm going to separate them into smaller videos so that if you have a figure that you're already working on and you just want to know how to do it in SewWhatPro, that's fine. If you want to know how to do duplicates, stay tuned. Okay? Alrighty, so we're going to choose edit. We're going to choose the center button because for some reason it's not letting me choose everything. I don't know why. All of the pieces. Okay, so now let me do it this time. Okay, so if it lets you choose all of the pieces, choose File or Edit, Copy, click out, and choose Edit, Paste. Okay, this will give you 2 Felties now. Okay, and so you can go through all the trouble of doing one at a time. Not that big of a deal, but you can do it. But what you ultimately want is for all of these pieces to stitch out at the same time. All the main to stitch out at the same time, all the outline to stitch out at the same time, all the die line to stitch out, okay? So we're just gonna group everything, okay? So this die line, we're gonna need, and we're gonna go into the outline order, the order threads tool quite a bit, just to kind of keep an eye on what we're doing, okay? So let's go up to, let's click out of that. We'll go Edit, Order Threads, and it's going to come up here so we can kind of keep an eye on everything over here and be able to see over here. Okay, so we know that our 2 die lines are 1 and 6. So we're going to leave number 1 alone, but we're going to turn number 6 into number 2. Okay, and number 2, I know it's going to get really fun. So number 2 is a tack down. Okay, so we want that to be number 3. And we want the other tack down, which is number 7, to be number 4, okay? So then it's going to do the outline. We're going to change that to number 5. Our second set of outline, we're going to change to number 6, okay? And we just go on like that. Number 7 is going to be the main, okay? And then the other one is going to be number 8, okay? And then we have our final stitches, which are our bean stitches, and that's going to be number 9. Oops. And number 10 we leave alone, just like number 1, okay? And I'm going to choose OK, and it should make it awesome. Okay, everything looks good to me. So when you put your fabric down, or whenever you put your hoop on there with the stabilizer, it's going to stitch out these 2, okay? Actually, it's not. It's going to stitch out this one, and then it's going to switch to this one. We're going to change the colors. Let's change the die line colors to blue, just because we want to join all the threads of the same colors, but we can't do that if we have 4 blacks in a row that aren't related to each other. Okay, so we got to change them to blue. We're going to go up here to Edit. Actually, let's click out of there so that it resets. Okay, Edit and Join Threads. Join all adjacent threads of same color. Click OK. Okay, it's only going to give us 5 steps now. It's going to give us what we want. It's going to give us our tack down, or our die line first on our stabilizer. It's going to tell us where to put our fabric. Okay, and then it's going to give us our tack down. Once we put our fabric on, it's going to do a running stitch around the fabric, and then it's going to do the outline of the face and the ears, these all at the same time, and then it's going to do the mane all at the same time. And then you're going to pop it off of your machine. You're going to put the backing on both pieces, put it on the whole back side so that it covers everything. And then you're going to run number 5, which is going to be your final bean stitch. And then you're going to cut everything out, and it's going to be super cute. I'm so excited. So I'll see you guys at my stitch out. Okay, bye-bye. Okay guys, so I'm over at my machine, and this is going to be the stitch out for everything that's done in SewArt and SewWhatPro, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of how it's going to look, excuse me, in SewArt. So you don't really have to do this border, but it does kind of finish things off and make it look really cute. So, excuse me, one of the things that I wouldn't do is a second die line. The first eye line is fine. The tack down I would do without completely, okay? So this is where we're going to be adding our fabric over the tack down, the first tack down, and this is the second tack down. This ended up being unnecessary, okay? So, and then it's gonna do the face outline in the ear, and then you're gonna trim everything, and then it's going to do the mane. I also wanted to insert that you wanna use your same color bobbin thread as the top thread, at least for the bean stitch part, so that it's the same color on the top and bottom, okay? So here's the stitch out with the mane done and the outline done, and also the tack down stitch. And there's the backing. Now we're just going to take a piece of felt and we're going to put it over the part that's stitched. And we're going to tape it the top and the bottom. And we're going to place it back on our machine, okay? And then we're going to run that final bean stitch, and that's going to sandwich everything together and hide all of the back strings and everything. You don't have to do this point either whenever you do uh, a feltie. You don't always have to have a backing on it, but that final stitch and the backing just makes it look so much nicer. And like I said, I would get rid of that second tack down. It just looks terrible. Okay, so there's the backing part of it, showing you that it's covering everything, and look how nice it looks. And it, like I said, it would be so much cuter without this second line. But there's our feltie. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.